So good morning. It is 7:45 in the morning, and today they're going to be putting 2 trees in my backyard, and I'll talk about what they mean and why they're going to be put in there. But I wanted to show what my yard looked like one last time without trees. It's pretty wild. So it looks like my dad has placed a couple of buckets out there where they plan on putting the trees, which looks really good to me. It's so crazy. It's gonna look different, but I'm really excited. So the people are supposed to be at my house at 8 o'clock, and I made sure that I was had the dogs fed and pottied by 8 o'clock, obviously, because they can't go in the backyard. I have a telehealth therapy appointment at 9. I'm really feeling sick. I had DHE yesterday at the hospital. Let me sit down and I'll tell it, but it's 10 after 8 and the people aren't here to do the tree. There we are. There's all these clothes I have to go through that were on the bed that I moved off the bed. Brought Benny's bed in here because he was dry heaving earlier. I brought some pillows and blankets. You can see my Lego castle, Disney castle. I'm feeling really terrible. I'm also hot flashing, which is no fun. Yesterday at the hospital, one of my medications has notoriously, it always makes me very sick because I'm just sensitive to the side effects, and so I actually get a half of a dose of what normal people get because it affects me so badly. IV. It affects me badly. You can take it IM too, and it's DHE, dihydroergotamine 45, DHE 45. I've always been really hyper about knowing that, okay, you're going to be running this bag over an hour, right? It's 50 cc's for an hour, right? Yes. So I always double check with them because they have made this mistake more times than I can count. So I was already feeling terrible yesterday. My Meniere's vertigo is bad. So bad that on Monday I'm going to be talking to my neurologist about surgery. I had put that off out of my brain for a little bit because for a few weeks it was a little better. The vertigo was a lot better. I wasn't having vertigo. So I'm feeling sick already, vertigo bad. The lights are off the whole time I'm there, for the hours I'm there. 15 minutes in the infusion, I start feeling really bad. And I tend to feel bad during the infusions, but I bring crackers with me and sparkling water, and that helps. And I was feeling so horrible, and I thought, this is really horrible, but I wasn't thinking. I was just trying to endure. And then all of a sudden, at 30 minutes in, the thing started beeping, meaning that it was empty, and it's supposed to run for an hour, so it ran half an hour faster. Whenever this has happened in the past, I get really sick, and I was so sick. I was dry heaving, and they had nursing students with them, so it was all these people that I was really sick in front of. So they ran fluids, so more fluids than I had gotten, to hopefully get this moving through my system. And then they gave me cool washcloths in my head and neck and a big bag of ice that I kind of put on my chest. And then she called my doctor because I was so sick, so they kind of had a stat. So Fran called in, so I got more of an anti-nausea medicine, and that helped enough so that I could get home without dry heaving the whole way. It was a nightmare. I mean, I was so weak when I got home. My mom drove me because my vertigo was bad, and she was having to help me everywhere, and I had to use my rolling walker, and I sat on it because the wheelchair was on the car, and I had no energy to get it off. I was so weak. She'd help me in bed, and then I was so sick. I couldn't even wake up to feed the dogs. I finally did an hour and a half late. It just was a really bad night, and I'm feeling terrible. I did not sleep well at all. I didn't get to sleep until 2:30 or 3 o'clock. It was almost 3 o'clock. Then I had to wake up at 7:40 to feed the dogs, let them out. My vertigo is really bad. I have my telehealth at 9, and he knows I have this bad vertigo. I've had to cancel for it before, but the last 2 hours of my sleep I could not sleep. I was waking myself up yelling out of my sleep because I was having really bad dreams, because I knew I was going to be talking to my therapist. The last 2 hours of sleep were just full of my brain working through stuff that I'm gonna have to talk about that I don't want to talk about. But I know talking about it helps. I don't know. It's 8:15 now, so I have 45 minutes. I don't hear anything outside. I think my dad's just sitting in his car outside. He was planning on doing this by himself, so he knew that I wasn't going to be able to help him. I'm so grateful for all my parents do for me. And these trees have really special meaning to all of us. I've taken Zofran because I'm nauseous. If I have bad dreams, and I distinct bad dreams from nightmares, like if I have a bad dream, usually I lose Benny in public and I can't find him, which is ridiculous. I would never be separated from Benny in public. My dad is no longer here, and it is 10 till 9. They're supposed to start at 8. And my dad has set buckets out, and that's it. I'm guessing there's some sort of miscommunication, or the people just didn't show up. It's so strange.
When I was 2 years old, I lived in Connecticut with my family, and my parents gave me 2 seeds that I planted that grew into trees. And as we moved around a lot when I was a kid, we transported those trees to different states like Texas and Kentucky, and they lived and survived. And one of the trees we couldn't move from the home my parents used to live in, and the second tree was at their current house and unfortunately got crowded in by other trees and died. And so my parents wanted to give me trees in honor of those 2 trees that I planted as a little girl, and we always called them Kelly trees, and so here are the new Kelly trees. This is the Kelly tree. I planted this tree when I was 2, and it is mostly dead, so we're having to take it out. Look how big it is. This is one of the roots. In 2012, one of my dogs passed away suddenly when I was visiting my parents, and I actually buried some of the ashes under the tree. We call it the Kelly tree. What kind of tree is this, Dad? An ash?
SH, yeah. I've had that confirmed by several people.
So, the trees are out there, the dogs don't know. We're gonna go see the trees for the first time. Look, there's trees, go get busy. I thought that was gonna happen. He's like, wait. Go on, go see the trees, go. He's like, what? I can't go down there right now because I could go on the grass a little bit. My vertigo's too bad. Look at the trees. Go. He has no clue what I'm talking. There we go. He's like, oh. He's not as excited as I thought he'd be. I'm very excited for these trees. Very excited.
You are not alone in this world. You are not